Digital and New Media, Tolu Ogunlesi. Frankenberg has just walked into the studio.
Yewande Sadiku. Yewande is the Executive Secretary of NIPC, the Nigeria Investment Promotion Council.
The Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on Public Affairs, Mr. Ajuri Ngelali.
We talk to captains of industry.
She's the founder and CEO of Tomato Jos, one of Nigeria's biggest agro-industrial businesses. Her name is Miriam Meta. He's been selected for Forbes 30 Under 30. His name is Inioluwa Aboyeji.
We talk to the experts.
He's the chief economist at Business Day. He's a big friend of the show. Also,
he's the head of the Department of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NIMR. Dr. Bamidele Waloko.
And we talk to you.
I found Mr. Usman through Hard Facts. He's a listener. He sent us a WhatsApp message when we were talking about the scanners at the ports.
Give me your afternoon and I'll give you the answers.
Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. EP's plans for winning Lagos as well. It's the road to 2023, where we talk about the biggest stories already shaping next year's election. There's lots of things happening on the campaign trail, and you need all the information about what exactly is going on so that you can vote wisely in February. And speaking of February, here's today's big hard fact. It's exactly 123 days until the general elections on February 25th. Just about 4 months to go. So we're focusing on Lagos this week. Yesterday we heard from the present APC administration who are hoping for a second term. Today we're talking to one of the parties hoping to defeat the APC here in Lagos. My guest is the spokesperson for Olajide Adediran, the PDP Guber candidate. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Mr. Agarawido. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, good to have you too. Good evening, Sandra. Good evening, Lagos.
Good evening.
It's very wonderful hearing from you again.
Yes, indeed. Lagos, let's hear from you as well. What questions or feedback do you have for the PDP in Lagos? What questions or feedback do you have for Janda, the Guber candidate of the PDP here in Lagos? Women call us on 01465-7190. Men call us on 0700-993-993. Miss Edowu, first of all, sorry to hear about the attack on your campaign convoy over the weekend. Were there any casualties?
Yes. Good evening once again, Lagos. Yes, we have 2 people that sustained minor injuries.
Okay.
And we have one person that sustained a serious injury that is being treated at an undisclosed clinic in Lagos now.
Okay. Were you in the convoy?
Yes, I was there. I was on the campaign train. What we're doing really is to take our message of a breath of fresh air to all the nooks and crannies of Lagos. So we're actually on our word-to-word tour. There are 245 wards in Lagos, and our plan is to take the message down to them, to all stakeholders in all these wards. So we were at Badagry. We are already done with Alimosho. We were at Badagry, and it was our second day in Badagry. So we were retiring back to base in the evening, and these hoodlums opened fire on us.
Okay.
And they shot at us. And the whole intention is to intimidate us and stop us from doing what we're doing.
Okay.
Because we know for a fact that opponents cannot actually do what we are doing and go onto the roads because they will be faced with the stark reality of dilapidated infrastructure that litters all over the place in Lagos, from Alimosho to Badagry and all that. So it was an intention, we opine, to actually scare us and intimidate us. But we are not going to be intimidated. We are back on our mission, and today we are at Ojo, and we'll be going around all the 20 local governments and 245 wards in Lagos.
Ben Hundeyi, the police spokesperson, said that your campaign had not filed a complaint yet. Have you filed a complaint?
We have reported to the DPO already.
Okay, all right.
We reported that same night.
Okay, and what's the police saying?
Yeah, they will look into it. We hope they do so. They've released a statement. They said they are investigating. We are always available to support them in the investigation. What's important to us is we must be allowed as opposition to campaign freely in Lagos. Every other party must be allowed to exercise their rights by selling their candidates in the most appropriate, professional, and of course, ethical way. So we don't want, because it's scary, to be frank, we don't want to be attacked in such manner, and we just hope the police will do the needful and keep the state safe for all of us.
The Lagos APC said that it was out of line for your party to accuse them. They're saying that maybe it was unhappy members of your party. What do you say to that?
That's ridiculous. The people that actually shot at us were shouting APC. That much we know.
Oh.
Yeah, they were actually shouting APC. But really, for us, we'll leave that to the police to figure out. So they were shouting APC, they shot at us and all that. I don't think we have disgruntled members in Badagry. Badagry is a home of PDP, and our people there in Badagry received us warmly, and they are happy that for once we are going to change the face of Lagos, because we're actually giving them the agenda of a wealthy Lagos, a treat they actually deserve. We're saying for the first time in Lagos, the wealth of Lagos will just not be on paper. Will work for them. They will see it in their everyday reality.
Here's an interesting, and then, we'll go on to other things, but here's an interesting point that the APC made. They said if they sent the attackers, why would the attackers implicate them by shouting APC, APC during the attack?
Well, I wouldn't know, but these attackers sometimes, they actually wanted to. APC is actually a very bold party. They do these things to scare you. And to tell you, this won't be the first time of doing it, to tell you exactly that we are the ones behind it. If you don't stop, we are going to come again and all that. So that much they said, and this won't be the first time. You remember the guy with, the flag boy that was maltreated at Oshodi. It was clearly stated that it was the chairman of Oshodi local government that instigated that. The police have been on that for weeks now, and nothing has... we've not gotten anything from that. So we know is they're stuck in trade. They can deny from now, but we are ready. We are not going to be intimidated. We'll take them to the court of public opinion, like we're doing now, to say Lagosians must pay attention to this. Every citizen here must be allowed to express their right in campaigning for who, and of course voting for whoever they chooses to vote for.
There's been a lot of controversy around billboards during this campaign season. Some opposition parties here in Lagos, including yours, are claiming that they've been denied access to billboards. Tell us how that is happening.
Okay, my principal was on TV the other time, and he said expressly that we actually paid some companies to put our materials up, and I think they did it for 3 or 4 days, and they called us for a refund. That what the signals they're getting from the state government is that you guys should not deal with opposition, and if you do, you risk a situation whereby your license won't be renewed next year. So we have evidence to that effect. Evidence to the check we issued, and evidence to the draft they gave to us to refund our money, to say they are not willing to do, because they actually don't want to risk not doing business in Lagos. So we have that. We'll look for other means, and we look for other means to sell our candidates. We are on it. We're doing it already. That's why this word to word, it actually gets into them. Look around Lagos and show us where you have opposition using billboards. Even billboards that are redundant, there's nothing on it. Even the station in Lagos wrote the Lassa MD to say we need to do business. We have paid for our license, and this is the season where we make a lot of money by getting jobs from all sorts of political parties. And what you're doing to us, you're actually not giving us a job, and you're stopping us from getting it from the people that are willing to patronize us.
Okay, Lagos, join the conversation. Huh? Let's hear from you. What questions or feedback do you have for the PDP in Lagos, for Janda, who is the Guba candidate here? 0700 That's for men. Women, call us on 01465 Still to come, we'll talk about what the PDP in Lagos thinks the biggest problems in Lagos are and why Lagosians should trust PDP and Janda over APC and Sanwo-Olu or Labour and Rhodes Fiver. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about Jando's criticism of the Okada ban. You know, how would a PDP administration, for instance, handle first and last mile transport in Lagos while still balancing the issues of issues of security, identity management that have been a problem with the Okadas. So there's so much ground to cover. We're going to try and cover as much ground as possible. But for right now, let Lagos join the conversation and react to some of the things we've talked about already. 99.3. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you? What's your name, sir?
My name is Stephen. I'm speaking from Nkoto.
Stephen, you've got 1 minute. Welcome.
Yes, please. I want to speak to the spokesman of PDP.
Go ahead.
I want you to pass this message to Jado. That the only deal that we did to Lagosians, we that were in support of a change in Lagos State from APC. Jado should try to make the Labour Party. Let four of them come together and take power from APC in Lagos.
Okay.
If they do that, we'll be very happy.
Okay.
They should come together, irrespective of their differences. They should come together and take this power. Enough is enough for what we are seeing in Lagos. Area body not allow us to rest. And we cannot avoid to continue to vote area people.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Remember, everybody gets 1 minute. 99.3. Sorry about that. Give us a call back if you can. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, President Sandra, good evening, ma.
Good to have you on the show, sir.
Yeah, the one I don't understand is about pulling down this guy's signboard, Ban Ki-moon. Ban Ki-W, I mean.
Okay.
You come to Gerard here, just by roundabout. If they put down this thing, tear all the poster, they tear it off. Live and let live now. Allow other parties. It's wrong of them. Whoever is doing that is too bad of that person. And you know, Jandor is not like the other guy. You hear the name alone, it's scary. Jandor. So please, they should stop it. Let them allow that player too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How are you? What's your name, ma'am?
Good evening. Happiness from Ikorodu.
Welcome, Happiness.
Yes, I want to tell him. You should tell his team they should not give up. They should not give up. We know at the end, Lagos State will get a pass mark in Lagos State.
Okay.
You should not give up.
Okay.
Enjoy your evening, Sandra.
Thank you very much, Happiness, for calling. 99.3. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Wally.
Wally, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, all this politician is neither there or here.
Okay.
All of them lay claim to all these things. Because for me, I don't even like them doing all these street rally. Because all these street rally, what I know from experience is that there are some streets and there are some areas where there is all these boys, having issue with themselves, having quarreling with themselves. So sometimes when they do these street campaigns and, they fall along with those guys, clashing with other streets and all of them. And the next thing they started accusing themselves, either PDP or APC, all of them have been doing this. And they know all those boys. They'll even both parties, all of them, they use those boys as part of their defense and part of their campaign strategies and all of this.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. We've got a message here from Aburime. Aburime says, please tell your guest that it is the wish of majority of Lagosians that the behemoth called APC be routed from the face of Lagos State. But if you ever imagined that your party alone will be the one to do it, it is virtually asking for too much. You can never do it alone. So if your intention is to save Lagosians from the APC jugular, then you should team up with other opposition parties to fight a common enemy. Okay, so that's the second person who has said that. Mr. Itowu, you hear that? What do you say?
Okay, thank you, Sandra. Okay, so our candidate for now is the most prepared candidate to get the job done, and of course our party is open to other parties that are willing to form an alliance with us so that we can defeat these monsters that have been confronting us. We need to rescue ourselves from these albatross of misgovernance. And our party is ready. Our candidate is ready to do that. We are open to other parties joining us so that we can do this together. We know it's a game of number. We know for us to win, we have to have the highest number of votes. And we are confident that even if the election is held tomorrow, our candidate will come out victorious. But at the same time, we're open to other parties. We are willing, and they can come on board and join us so that we can rescue our state from these albatross of misgovernance. Thank you.
Okay. What do you think the biggest problems in Lagos are? Why should Lagosians trust the PDP and Jandor over APC and Sanwo-Olu or Labour Party and Rhodes Viva?
Thank you so much, Sandra. It's always going to be difficult to single out a major problem in Lagos. There are a whole lot of them. There are a whole lot from our road infrastructure to our health system to our educational system.
Which one do you think is the biggest one? Which one do you think is the biggest one?
Yeah, for me, if I pick one, that would definitely be my own opinion. What is the biggest one for me might actually not be the biggest one for you. But what we are saying is the hopes of and aspirations of Lagosians has been covered in our own program. And we are saying whatever your own biggest problem is, we are ready to tackle it. And we have an agenda for a wealthy Lagos, a treat we feel everyone deserves in Lagos to go about that. So bring it on. If it's from road to health, I'm sure I don't have all the time here, but we are ready to tell you, and we can go into it one by one.
Let's go into it one by one. I really want to hear.
Okay, so Sandra, you agree with me. You live in Lagos now. The state of infrastructure is in total derelict, evidenced by the hardship residents have to endure when, in order to access the facilities ranging from road, like I said, to public health, to education, to social, other social infrastructure. And for a state that raked in about 753 billion naira just last year in terms of IGR, and that's excluding federal allocation and capital receipts. The critical question to now ask is what has happened to our Commonwealth if 57% of us still experience flooding and 32% of us still see water in our sitting room when it's flooded. We still have 82% of Lagosians sharing bathroom facilities. We have 47% have access to WC septic tank. We have 65% of Lagosians still dependent on water vendors. We have 2 million out of school children. We have our infant mortality is still about 60 in every 1,000. And maternal mortality, we still have about 545 in every 100,000. So you'd be like, how did we find ourselves? How did we get to this state of malfunction despite having the same party in government for over 2 decades? So it's unacceptable, and we need to give Lagos a breath of fresh air.
What's your plan to do it? What's your plan to counter these things? So pick one, just any one of these long things you've mentioned.
Okay, now,
what's your plan?
I said, we have an agenda for a wealthy Lagos. It treats you all.
What does that mean, though? It's a nice sounding soundbite.
The wealthy acronyms.
Go ahead.
Yes, I will give it to you. The wealthy acronyms actually represent every aspect of development.
Okay.
From works housing to road infrastructure, to education and IT, to aquaculture and ease of doing business,
okay,
to law, order, security, to tourism, transportation, and of course traffic management, to health and environment, to youth, women, and social development. Yeah, let me do this for you now. Let me put it using health as the fulcrum.
Okay.
You know, there's a popular saying that says health is wealth.
Okay.
And the World Health Organization definition of health is to say health is not just the absence of diseases and infirmities. It's actually a state of physical, social, and mental well-being.
Right.
So what that simply means is whatever you do around you actually affects your health.
Right.
So if you have good roads, it affects your health.
Right.
If there is traffic, it affects your health. If your kids can't go to school, it affects your health. If you don't have a house to put your head in, it affects your health. If your environment is not good, the what's it called? The COVID pandemic has defined clearly to us our relationship between us and the environment. So it's actually important.
Right.
It affects your health.
Right.
So basically, what are we going to do about health? So what's on ground now? Lagos State government is running a free health. And if you walk into any general hospital today, you probably see a fee-paying pharmacy and a non-fee-paying pharmacy. If you walk into a fee-paying pharmacy, which does not belong to government, that's probably where you buy all your drugs from. If you go into the non-fee-paying pharmacy, you probably see paracetamol. So what that means is, they say they are running a free health program. You probably see a doctor for free. If you have to do a test, it's going to cost as much as 50,000. You still have to look for money to pay for that.
Okay.
If you are going to buy drugs and it's still going to cost you 100, you still have to.
What's
have
your
money
plan to solve that
to
problem?
pay for that.
What's your plan to solve that
So
problem?
our plan to solve it is to give compulsory health insurance to the less privileged and the vulnerable among us to increase access. So it's important. What we're saying is, if you see a doctor now in Lagos State, it costs government money. So how much is in the range of 10,000 to 15,000? So why are you so fixated on paying for people's hospital bill when you can easily buy them health insurance for 8,000 naira? So what we are saying we're going to do differently is we're going to have a compulsory health insurance scheme that will give to the less privileged and the vulnerable among us. Why would they encourage every other person to buy it? Then we position our health facility.
Does Lagos have data to show, say government who the less privileged and poor citizens of Lagos are? Does Lagos have the money to fund a compulsory health insurance for the poorest Lagosians and the underprivileged Lagosians?
Yes, Sandra, thank you so much. I know this question will come about when we talk about free health, when we talk about free education, people are always quick to ask us, where are we going to get the money from? But when we talk about road construction, when we talk about road construction, nobody actually asks us where to get the money from. So what we're saying is, we can build roads for people to fly free of charge. We can provide health to the less privileged, because really a healthy nation is actually a wealthy nation is actually a healthy nation rather is actually a wealthy nation. So what we're saying is Lagos State has the money. That there is no doubt about that. I just told you that the IGR of Lagos for 2001 was 753 billion naira. This, in the last 16 months, Lagos State has borrowed 723 billion naira. So the money is actually there. It's a matter of prioritizing and see what works for us and what does not work for us. So we are going to be accountable to Lagos. I listened to an official of Lagos State government on TV the other time when he said it doesn't matter to Lagosian how much the bridge cost, and it doesn't matter how long it took. What matters to Lagosian is just to provide the infrastructure, and that's where the problem is. They carry out projects in multiple folds of the actual money that should complete it, and there's actually no money left behind for us to take care of other communities. What we're saying is the money is there. We'll prioritize. We'll give compulsory health to the less privileged and the vulnerable among us. Of course, there are data to actually show that. Of course, we'll work with the CDAs and the religious bodies and the community to actually pinpoint and identify the people that can actually afford these things among us.
If you just tuned in, hello to you. Good evening. I hope you're having a good day. I've got the spokesperson for Olajide Adediran. You know him as Janda. He is the PDP Guber candidate. I have his spokesperson, Agarawu Idowu, on the show with me today, talking to Lagos about PDP's plans for winning and governing Lagos. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info 99.3. We have a break coming up. After that break, we'll come back and keep talking to our guest. Of course, Lagos, you can join the conversation with your questions, with your feedback, with your suggestions for the PDP and for Janda, the Guber candidate of the PDP. We've got WhatsApp 080-959-75805, Twitter at Nigeria Info FM, Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3. We're streaming this interview live, so you can actually watch this interview between myself and Mr. Agaro Idowu, the spokesperson for Olajide Adediran, the PDP Guber candidate for Lagos. Don't go away, Lagos. Hard facts. We'll be right back.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Every day is a new experience for me here. And look, see how excited I was coming into this studio. It was like a kid in a candy shop. What I enjoy doing the most here, let me put it in my own words, is Dear Bumi, because it's relaxing, it's hilarious. And of course, I for the life of me, I would never miss doing programs with Sheriff in the morning. It's one of the best. That's what keeps me alive and going. I think the one that I would remember the most, believe you me, is the one I did with Made Kuti, Femi's son. Every time I looked at, every time I think of the young guy, I feel so inspired because I'm always thinking of tomorrow. I'm youth driven. I'm not saying I'm a youth, but I'm youth driven. Oh, the best thing about being a radio show host is when people hold your hand in public, they pray for you, they send you messages and appreciate what you're doing. Because it's, apart from it being a big job, it's a sacrifice. If you want to do this job well, it is a big, big sacrifice. I'm not known to be a liar. I'm somebody who, and the reason why I don't lie about certain things is I don't want to be caught out. Okay, so if I overslept, you hear me on radio saying, sorry I came late, I overslept. I don't want anybody telling me that this is what happened. I'm very conscious of that. So I don't think I ever lied not to be on air. I'd have called ahead to say, because I'm a professional to the core, and you can ask those who work with me. If I can't make it, sometimes I'd call Sheriff in the morning and say, Sheriff, let me, I'm tired. If I'm tired, I'm tired, So I don't think I've been caught out as such. I can't remember any time.
Liverpool are majestic. You can't coach against this.
City have to defend for 6 minutes. They do not want to attack this. Felon Mendy across into the penalty area, headed down by the Madrid players. Still Madrid hopping around City's penalty box. A chance could come for them. It's 1-1 on the night. It's 4-5 for Navigas. They hit it up. 2-2. They are back.
Incredible. Well, one of the great nights as a radio football commentator, certainly. Was special. It was special. You could sense it. I literally could sense a potential comeback, and it wasn't surprising it happened. But how I was still able to articulate my words after that goal came in, something magical. So one of those great nights.
Thanks, Alexander.
Liverpool are majestic. You can't coach against this. I'm a sucker for Trent. If he wasn't a Liverpool player, I would wear a jersey with Trent at the back. That was special. It was a free kick from about 38, 40 yards against Chelsea, a team I somehow don't fancy. It was special, and I fell off the seat. It's a classic. I don't think any commentator has been able to do that.
The COVID-19 vaccine is a sure and verified way to protect you and your loved ones from serious sickness and death from COVID-19. Simply walk to any healthcare facility near you to get your COVID-19 vaccine for free.
Push am dey go, not tire until that your hustle blow. La Casera, make nothing stop you.
Sure you wanna feel that boost? Allow me to introduce Amber Energy drink. No more shutting down, we're going up. Oh yeah, get ready, stimulate your energy. Amber now for energy. Go around there somebody. Oh yeah, get ready, stimulate your energy.
occasion is here again. It's Lemon Friday. Adron Homes is adding joy to your season with an amazing offer of 50% discount on all land sales. Worth more in the goodie bag is an installment payment plan of up to 36 months. With an initial deposit of 25,000 naira to 1 million naira, you also get freebies like a big cow, bag of rice, deep freezer, washing machine, blender, smart TV, chicken, and lots more.
To subscribe, call this number 0803-817-9877 or 0810-332-1298.
Gift yourself a land this season with Adron Homes. Ho, ho.
Hi sis, hope you didn't forget the 2K you promised me.
I haven't forgotten, no. In fact, if you want it now, join me in unwrapping these Knorr cubes. Knorr is giving out instant 5K. We just have to find the code and send it to 8011.
If I finish unwrapping the Knorr cubes, will you make it 5K?
Just unwrap first and let's see.
Win instant 5K cash in the Knorr Unwrap and Win promo. Buy the Knorr 360 gram or 160 gram promo pack. Look for a cube wrapper within a hidden 6-digit code. Text code to 8011 and follow the prompts to win 5,000 naira cash or 1,000 naira airtime instantly. Promo runs from now till November. Terms and conditions apply. Knorr, eat for good.
Who is a hero?
A hero is the one who shows courage and compassion.
A hero shows devotion and determination.
A hero shows passion and affection.
Heroes are everyday people willing to sacrifice themselves for others. The Indomie Heroes Awards recognizes exceptional young heroes in our society. Tune in to Africa Magic Family and Urban, NTA, AIT, Channels, and TVC on Saturday, October 29th to see exciting stories of great deeds from young children. Indomie Heroes Awards, celebrating young heroes of Nigeria.
Cornerstone Insurance don't come again, yo. Embalmment promo don't land, yeah. See, if I back, they always have my back,
With 1 month free, I move.
When I move, they're always by my side, oh.
No matter what, them go stand.
Starting on the 1st of September 2022, enjoy 1 month free car insurance on our budget-friendly private motor comprehensive at Cornerstone. We don't give you any hassle. Visit cornerstone.com.ng or call 0700 Cornerstone. Offer lasts till the 31st of January 2023. Cornerstone, the future assured.
There you are, riding in silence, both deep in thought. I bet you the driver thinks this ride should have cost more. And you, the passenger, you are sure you are overpaying. Never mind, let's just stay quiet. Or you can both download InDrive and agree on a fair price beforehand. InDrive, people driven. The InDrive online passenger transportation aggregator is not a taxi service. Find more information at www.indrive.com.
Imagine trying to cook a quick meal after a long day, only for gas to finish. Or just as your conversation is starting to make sense.
Your call credit has been exhausted. Please recharge. Or
don't get cut off when it matters most. Switch to Airtel Postpaid today and enjoy more calls, more data, and SMS for as low as 3,000 naira. Visit any Airtel store to get started.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You've got the world at your feet. Your weapons are secure. And now you have a partner to make the world revolve around you. Octa FX is always here for you. A partner to make the world revolve around you. Octa FX is always here for you. Oh, 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 hey. Octa FX is always here for you.
Set the pace for a great life with a reliable partner that allows you to focus on what matters most. Download the Octa FX trading app now.
Ignition check.
Is your business stuck on the launch pad due to slow and unreliable internet?
Engine on. Check.
It's time to look to the skies.
We have liftoff.
Connect Fixed Satellite Internet is here. With fast, reliable speed up to 100 megabits per per second and unlimited usages. Loads of data. It's ideal for schools, merchants, clinics, mines, farms, and all types of businesses from anywhere in Nigeria. It's time to take your home or business beyond the stars with high-speed satellite internet. Visit connect.com. Connect with a K in partnership with Cool Link.
What is it? Every time you guys will be telling me, Charles, you like free things. Charles, you like free things. Free me. But I find you where they are giving free drinks. If there's free food, you'll be there. Oh. If they are sharing free funds, comrade, you're on the queue. Forget. Look, we all love good things. Even now that Jumia is doing free delivery, it's the same you and I that are enjoying it. Is it only me?
On every order above 1,999 naira, you'll enjoy free delivery in Lagos and Ibadan. So, shop on Jumia today. Jumia, your everyday delivered.
My paddy, how you doing? You don't hear of Lucky Bet and all the bunge offers when they don't carry tanda gidigam. Oh, but you never hear it, you know. Then go give you 600% welcome bonus plus 500% accumulator bonus when you sign up on top the website. It never finish show. Then get the highest odd. Come get fast payout join. And listen, if one game cut your ticket, then go still pay you. If two games come cut your ticket, then go give you bracket bonus. Not the dollar, polo who no rodo. Sign up on top www.luckybet.nj. Lucky Bet. Get lucky. Get rich.
This is what goodness tastes like. Golden caramel, creamy buttermint, and rich coffee. There's a Cadbury candy for every moment.
Introducing Cadbury Caramel Candy, Cadbury Coffee, and your favorite Cadbury Buttermint candies. Now there's lots more to share and enjoy.
Oh yeah, there's a Cadbury candy for every moment.
Under the moonlight, where only prying eyes can see, a king's bride is spotted with someone who isn't the king.
In the thick of the night, when drums and singing pierce the air, a man has chosen his desires over his duty.
In the dungeon of fright, where unspoken things happen, a young boy decides to gamble with his dreams.
3 stories tangled with hard choices. Watch Anikula Bo, The King's Horseman, and Far From Home on Netflix. Nollywood is home.
Listen to this to understand the amazing power of 5G. Oops, sorry, I played that at 5G speed. Now, here it is at a speed you're used to.
With hyper-fast internet speed, low to zero lag and buffering, multiple connections, and quality data sharing, 5G will give us amazing things like remote...
Category 1, instant win. Buy bags of Dangote cement. Pick up the scratch card and win an instant prize. Category 2, for the star prize, pick up the scratch card inside the bags to spell DANGOTE to win 1 million naira cash instantly. Category 3, the mega star prize. Pick out the scratch card inside the bags and spell DANGOTE and win 5 million naira instantly. When you pick an alphabet with an eagle, look out for letter O that has a Dangote Eagle logo for you to win the mega star prize. Promo runs to 31st October 2022. Terms and conditions apply.
Who is a hero?
A hero is the one who shows courage and compassion.
A hero shows devotion and determination.
A hero shows passion and affection.
Heroes are everyday people willing to sacrifice themselves for others. The Indomie Heroes Awards recognizes exceptional young heroes in our society. Tune in to Africa Magic Family and Urban, NTA, AIT, Channels, and TVC on Saturday, October 29th to see exciting stories of great deeds from young children. Indomie Heroes Awards, celebrating young heroes of Nigeria.
Ladies and gentlemen, you asked for strong tea? I hope you're ready for it. Introducing new Lipton Extra Strong Tea. It's strong tea like you've always wanted. Expertly blended with a strong burst of flavor, intense taste and aroma, all in one bag. Now, that's a tea drinking experience like never before. So, strong tea anyone? Lipton Extra Strong.
burst of flavor, intense taste. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, Lagos. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. What are the PDP's plans for winning and governing Lagos? Answering that question is the spokesperson for Olajide Adediran, the PDP Guber candidate, Agarawu Ido. Agarawu, thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you for waiting with us while we were on that short break. You know, before the break, you were talking about healthcare specifically and what the PDP in Lagos hopes it can do in the health sector. So you talked about the compulsory health insurance. You talked about, if you say, oh, we're going to build roads, nobody ever asks, so where will the money to build those roads come from? By the way, I will ask you where you're going to get the money to build roads. But it sounded to me like you were saying that a PDP government will make the Lagos budget stretch further by cutting down wastage and corruption. Now, what I want to know is what mechanisms would Jandor use to reduce wastage in the budget?
Thank you, Sandra. I was speaking to our agenda of a wealthy Lagos, and I said it's a treat we all deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking to treats specifically. What we're saying about treats is we're saying we are going to adopt a tech-driven government. That's for the T. For the R, we're going to encourage rule of law, and for the transparency. So what we're doing basically is open up the Lagos book and see what exactly. See, you should and I wonder why it's so difficult. I haven't passed for Lagos State government to pass the Freedom of Information Bill, and to actually open their books for us to see. We actually want to know. See, fine, it's good to build roads, it's good to build rail, but at the same time, you must be accountable. We must know how much you're building these roads. You must know how much you're fixing this infrastructure for us, so that we can compare and find out whether we're actually getting value for money. We are saying there's no way a state like Lagos can rake in 753 billion last year, and we look around, we can't see anything on ground that is commensurate to what they have done. Sandra, I like to say, see, it doesn't take a genius, to be in power like in a state like Lagos for 23 years. Sits over the resources in the last 23 years like that, and have one or two things to show for it. It's like you giving money to a vendor to organize an event for you in decor, and you walk into the hall, there's nothing there, and the guy is asking you to clap for him just because you walked on the red carpet. So that's what we are saying. We're saying, okay, you've made all this money, you've spent, but what you've made, we can't see the infrastructural development on ground.
Now, I hear what you're saying. However, you have a Babatunde Gbadamosi, who was your member, who is now in the Labour Party, who says he cannot support Olajide Adediran, Jandor, because Jandor doesn't have the capacity to come up with a plan for Lagos. So, how soon, this wealthy thing you're talking about, how soon are we going to see that represented in a manifesto from Jandor?
The wealthy agenda I'm speaking to really is actually our manifesto, which is ready.
Okay.
And as I'm seated there, I can tell you categorically, I was part of the team that put that up.
Okay.
And this document has been ready for like 6 months from now.
Okay.
Or 6 months ago, rather. And we have presented it to party members.
Okay.
We're saying, okay, this is our own direction, or where we want to take Lagos to.
Okay.
And we want input of party members to look at it. And we had a meeting like that. We're still going to have a show. We're still going to launch it.
Okay.
So what Mr. Babatunde Gbadamosi said, I know that's his own opinion, but I am actually here speaking to a manifesto that I know it's ready. And we as a team, we are ready to hit the ground running as soon as we're sworn in next year as 16th governor of Lagos State.
There's also a popular belief among Lagosians that PDP goes to sleep between elections and then wakes up to go through the motions in Lagos. Why do you have that reputation? What has changed? Has anything changed?
Absolutely. We have Dr. Babajide Abdulaziz Aderi as the new sheriff in town, and it's here with a breath of fresh air. This is a guy that is a journalist, a successful businessman, a serial entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and a technocrat that has invested in people, and I've actually, developed people and give people hope to attain their full potentials. So that's what he's bringing to bear, and he's determined. This guy is all he asked for is that he was in APC, and all he asked for was he doesn't want a situation where individual pronouncement will triumph over the true intrinsic power of the people. And of course, because he wasn't given the advantage to the opportunity to, because there was no true democracy within APC, he moved into a PDP, and he was able to sell his ideas to PDP members who, after joining for about 6 or 8 months, voted overwhelmingly for him in the primaries because they can livability now.
Okay, so his connection has gotten really, really bad, which I will take as my cue to take a look at messages on social media. Nigeria Info, please, my advice to Jandor is to form a formidable alliance with other parties and their candidates. This done, he will do credibly well, I believe. President Sandra, the problem with the southern politician is that they don't know how to play politics like their northern counterparts. Just like two of your callers have said, if PDP, LP, and ADC love Lagosians, they should merge to defeat APC, like what Tambowal did during PDP presidential primaries. This is not the time for selfishness. Rather, it's the time to rescue the entire country from the APC. We've got this message here. It seems your guest does not know the number of problems of Lagos, which is greed and authority stealing. Please ask him how his party will tackle it. Ade from Ejibo with that question there. We've got a message here from Chris, who's listening from Accra. Chris says, I have just one message or plea to the PDP candidate spokesperson. While they and Labour Party can go ahead and campaign from now to January 31st, 2022, both candidates should sit down and come to some sort of agreement and make a public declaration on who the populace should vote. They are campaigning against an incumbent, not a new candidate at the APC. They should make that call, please. All right, Chris, thank you very much for your message. We seem to have restored the connection with Mr. Agarawu Idowu. Thank you so much for sticking around, and apologies about that technical hiccup there. You were saying something, and I would like you to wrap it up very quickly because we're out of time.
Yeah, I actually didn't know I've been disconnected, so I didn't know where
you stopped talking.
Okay.
I will ask you this as a way to close. In terms of your electoral strategy, where do you think your strong points are? Which local governments or neighborhoods are you banking on? What age groups? What social brackets? Can you give me that answer in 1 minute?
Of course, you can take this to the bank. We are winning all the 20 local governments.
Okay. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we're winning all the local government. Yeah.
Okay.
You can take that to the bank.
He said it very straight, very simple. You're sure you're going to do that even when the River State Governor Nyesom Wike from your party has endorsed Governor Sanwo-Olu?
My principal actually responded to that on TV, and there's something instructive about that. And he said when he went into PDP, where Governor Wike actually ruled, that Governor Wike supported his opponent in the primaries, and he won all of them. So Governor Wike supporting Governor Sanwo-Olu, for us, they can have a show. We don't have a problem with that. Dr. Wike does not, Governor Wike rather, does not vote in Lagos, and Lagosians are more interested in who is going to who is going to improve their lives, who is going to give them hope, and who is going to make sure that they access their daily needs without much ado, while, of course, attaining their full potential. So for Lagosians, it is Jandor, and come March, May 29 next year, Jandor will be the 16th governor of Lagos State, by the grace of God.
Agaro Ido is the spokesperson for Jandor, Olajide Dediran, the PDP Guber candidate. Thank you so much for talking to us on the show today. We hope that we can circle back to you as the campaign goes even further to see how you're doing on the road to 2023.
Anytime, Sandra. And just to let you know, there's a Sandra time in my house today. I'm on Saturdays generally.
Oh, okay.
It's Sandra time because of the debate.
The debate tournament. On I'm glad you're fans of that.
Yes, my kids always call me once it's 5 o'clock on Saturday to tell me Sandra time. I will pick a topic the debates on and all that.
Oh,
thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Be rest assured, anytime we are here.
Okay.
And good evening, Lagos.
All righty, Ido. Thank you very much for your time. Lagos, that's all the time we have for that segment. But don't go away. After the news at 6 o'clock, would you mind if your close friend leaves the country without telling you? Would you mind if your close friend leaves the country, relocates from Nigeria without telling you? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away. That conversation is coming up after the news.
Hey! People still they win, no. I bet you know what follow cash out for this.